That was Donald Trump predicting that Senator Rand Paul will drop out of the presidential race. Joining us now to respond is GOP presidential candidate and Kentucky Senator Rand Paul. Great to have you in studio here.
Good to be here.
Sure you love hearing that sound from Donald Trump. What's your response to him?
It kind of reminds me of the funniest moment, I think, of the second debate when out of nowhere, complete non sequitur, he starts going after me. And I guess it's part of his bravado, his shtick. But I'll tell you this, I think we'll be around just as long as Trump or longer.
We do have that moment in the second debate when out of nowhere he went after you and even sort of took a swipe at your looks. Let's see if...
What's a guy to do, you know?
I mean, well, maybe, let's see if we can play that for a second.
First of all, Rand Paul shouldn't even be on this stage. He's number 11. He's got 1% in the polls, and how he got up here, there's far too many people. Anyway, I never attacked him on his look, and believe me, there's plenty of subject matter right there.
What are you thinking when that's happening?
I'm thinking, how did we get the race for the most important office in the free world to sink to such depths? And how could anyone in my party think that this clown is fit to be president? So I think really, ultimately, we're going to get to the truth. Ultimately, we're going to get to substance. And it just takes a while. But by no means am I finished. I'm just getting started.
Okay, so let's talk about that, because it's not just Donald Trump. There's also this piece in Politico this weekend that also was predicting your imminent demise. Let me just read a portion.
Oh, please, spare me.
Basically, look, it says Rand Paul's campaign reeks of the same stench of death that surrounded the Perry and Walker efforts before their demise. His fundraising is lagging. His campaign is disorganized. The Kentucky GOP is going to pressure him to concentrate on the U.S. Senate race. There is no path to victory for him. Now, I want you to set the record straight here, because what is the path to victory?
Well, the thing is I think we have a unique message. One, our message is that war ought to be the last resort, that we shouldn't be eager for war, and that we want less intervention in the Middle East, not more, that the boots on the ground over there need to be Arab boots on the ground, not American boots on the ground. I think that's a unique position, actually, in both primaries. I think that being the one champion against the government collecting all of our phone records is also a unique voice. And I think also being the one who says, you know what, to be a conservative, you can't be for unlimited military spending and say, oh, we're going to cut welfare spending, but we're going to increase military spending. The problem in Washington really is that you have an unholy alliance between right and left, and they're both bankrupting the country. And that is a point that I will bring out, and I'm the only one on the stage who will. So I think I need to be in the debates. And also, I think that there are a plurality of Americans who are no longer Republican or Democrat. And I think that I bring the right mix together to find people who are independent.
I mean, so it must make you just want to punch someone in the nose when you read, perhaps me, when you read articles like that, because it is so early in the game.
It is very early. And I mean, we're doing a lot of organization. We wouldn't do all this if we were planning on dropping out. We have 350 college campuses. We have over 1,000 students in Iowa that have committed to caucus for us. We have 15 college campuses in Iowa that we've organized. So we're just getting started. We're calling through all the lists. We're identifying our voters, doing all the traditional campaigning. But that doesn't show up because we've decided that this election, it's all about national polling. National polling has nothing to do with the race. Absolutely nothing to do with the race.
Today, Donald Trump is unveiling his tax plan, and I want to get your take on it, okay? Because we know a few details. He hasn't revealed all the details, but here's what we know. No businesses will be taxed more than 15%. I think we can put up the slide so that you can look at it as well. No federal income tax for individuals earning less than $25,000 or couples earning less than $50,000 a year. The highest individual tax bracket will be 25%, no longer 39%. Eliminate or reduce deductions and loopholes for high-income taxpayers like the hedge fund owners that he talks about. What do you think of that?
Well, my tax plan actually gets rid of the entire tax code, and we have one rate for everybody, 14.5%. My tax plan would actually cut taxes. His, I think, is going to keep tax level the same. What I've heard, and I haven't seen it yet, is that he's going to have a revenue neutral, which means that the people won't have any more money remaining in the private market. Mine will have nearly $3 trillion that we're private market. Mine gets rid of the whole tax code, and with my plan, you'll be able to fill out your tax return on a postcard. It's 14.5% for everybody, and I think we'll have a great deal of enthusiasm for our plan as our plan gets more attention.
Would yours still be 14% even for that lower bracket of people who are couples making $50,000?
The lower bracket don't pay any now, and they won't under mine. Under $50,000, you don't pay much of an income tax currently, and you won't under mine. Mine is similar to Steve Forbes' plan, such that a family of 4 would have about a $50,000 family exemption. So really, people under 50 wouldn't pay anything. And in my plan, everybody gets a tax cut. Whether you're rich, middle income, or poor, everybody gets a tax cut. And I think it's a mistake. This is something Trump and Bush have been for. They say, oh, those people in private equity, those people in the hedge funds that are paying a tax of 15%, we're going to punish them by bringing them up. I would bring everybody down to their level. I would have the same rate for everyone, but I wouldn't bring anyone up. I would actually bring people down so everybody pays the same rate.
Let's talk about what's going on in Capitol Hill. How surprised were you on Friday when Speaker Boehner announced his resignation?
I was a little surprised, but I'm out there all the time, and I see the frustration of the conservative grassroots, and the conservatives, myself included, are frustrated that really Congress hasn't used the power of the purse. We control the House and the Senate, and the people who elected us are frustrated that we're not doing anything with it.
So who's next? I mean, who's going to be able to rein in all of these different parts of the warring GOP?
Well, I think the next thing is we do need to promote using the power of the purse. There are some who have said in the Senate, well, you need 60 votes to defund anything. It's actually the opposite. If spending expires, then you need 60 votes to affirmatively pass anything. And to my mind, there are thousands of programs that really shouldn't be there at all. For example, I'll give you one quick example. We spent $300,000 last year studying whether Japanese quail are more sexually promiscuous on cocaine.
And are they?
Yeah, I think we could poll and figure that out and save $300,000. So.
I think that you won't get any argument from a lot of people. Senator Rand Paul, always great to talk to you. Thanks so much for coming.